Hi folks, welcome to RJA Impact. In this video we're going to look at the current spat taking place between CZ and Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary. On the 11th of November 2022, one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world, FTX, and over 100 affiliated companies filed for bankruptcy after a run of withdrawals from scared customers had depleted its coffers. There followed a huge public and government demand for answers as to what had happened. On December the 14th, 2022, Kevin O'Leary, aka Mr. Wonderful, sat in front of the US Senate Committee of Banking, Housing and Urban Affairs.
Businesses, in terms of growth, were at war with each other, and one put the other out of business intentionally. Now, maybe there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe there's nothing wrong with love and war, but Binance is a massive, unregulated global monopoly now. They put FTX out of business. Now, lots of other reasons, I'm sure, but that's my personal opinion. That is what Sam Bankman-Fried told me in terms of where the assets went. Why should we care? Single reason. I'm a shareholder. You tell me the two largest shareholders do a transaction together, that's a related party transaction. I'm not sure that's okay.
He was there to discuss the collapse of the multi-billion-dollar crypto exchange FTX, a black hole in its finances of apparently $8 billion, and questions about mismanagement by its CEO and founder Sam Bankman-Fried. Kevin spoke about the FTX collapse and made an earnest appeal for regulation and advocated for clear policies, regulation for the crypto industry encompassing entrepreneurs, developers and users. He had his own opinions on the collapse and he was asked why FTX had failed. His response was to put the blame on another big crypto exchange and rival of FTX, Binance, and pointed to its CEO, Changpeng Zhao, also known as CZ. At one stage, Binance had owned 20% of FTX, and in explaining the reason for the buyback of shares, which cost FTX approximately $2 billion, he said that Binance would not comply with regulators in various jurisdictions and geographies that would allow FTX to expand, and FTX therefore had no choice but to buy its shares back. He also spoke about a tweet that CZ had put out a week before the FTX collapse about dumping $500 million worth of FTX's own proprietary tokens, FTT, onto the marketplace, and how this helped push the price of FTT down artificially and directly led and caused FTX to go out of business. Kevin wants a clawback of the proceeds that Binance made on these transactions and has stated that he himself lost $15 million in the collapse too. In an interview with Peter Schiff, he talks about Kevin O'Leary being just as complicit as Sam Bankman-Fried.
One of the people who is pounding the table the hardest for more regulation in crypto is Kevin O'Leary. And one of the things that's really bothering me about Mr. Wonderful is that he's acting as if he lost money on FTX because he lost $15 million. Well, what Kevin O'Leary doesn't like to acknowledge is the fact that the money he lost was the money he was paid by Sam Bankman-Fried to pump FTX. Yes, he took the money that he was paid and used it to buy FTX tokens and to invest in FTX, the company. But he wasn't investing his own money. He was gambling with the house's money. Or more correctly, he was gambling with the money that Sam Bankman-Fried stole from his customers and gave to Kevin O'Leary to promote FTX. Now, according to Kevin O'Leary, he didn't even invest the entire $15 million that he got from Sam Bankman-Fried. He only invested about $10 million, so he was able to keep $5 million, but he ended up having to pay that in commissions and taxes on the $15 million of income that he earned to be a promoter of FTX. But for him to be going out there now and pretending that he actually lost money, he lost nothing other than his reputation. But other people did lose real money. They weren't paid by Sam Bankman-Fried, and these people are a lot less wealthy than Kevin O'Leary. They took their hard-earned money and put it on the FTX platform, and they lost it, in part because of Kevin O'Leary. It's possible that some of the people who lost actual money in FTX, the reason they chose to open up an account at FTX and deposit their money or their crypto there was because of Kevin O'Leary's endorsement. So rather than pretending to be one of the victims of this scam, he should acknowledge his own culpability in helping to perpetuate the scam. Whether he knew it was a scam or not, He was paid to promote a scam, and that was probably one of the reasons he didn't do all the due diligence that he should have. And I think he should have been more forthright when he was publicly talking about how great Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX were. He should have disclosed that he was paid $15 million to express that opinion.
CZ has not let these comments about him by Kevin go unanswered, calling Kevin directly a liar. He said that as an investor of FTX, Kevin didn't even know that Binance was a shareholder.
They put FTX out of business.
So I think Calvin's a liar.
He then accused Kevin of having a, as he called it, special relationship with SBF and ignoring all SBF's other failings and mismanagement. He's just believing whatever SBF tells him, CZ said. CZ was then asked about the health of Binance itself and rumoured issues with stablecoin withdrawals from Binance. He made the point that there were delays at one point purely because a bank in New York was closed for approximately 6 hours. He stressed the stability and strength of Binance.
Yeah, so let's get back to show me the money part. So Calvin omitted the fact that there's no records. That's not a problem to him. So he just want to talk to Sam and believe whatever Sam says. He doesn't want to look at the records. And if you look, and he wants to omit all the small spendings, $50 million, $200 million. $200 million is small spending. That's very convenient. He says he didn't know that Binance was a shareholder of FTX. So he invested in FTX without looking at the cap table. But he was very specific in the way he counts for a transaction 2 years ago. So that's kind of contradictory. So I think Calvin's a liar. So I think he's lying about a bunch of stuff.
Well, is there a blame? There is an ongoing debate amongst crypto pundits in the media that falls into two camps. On the one hand, we have the Kevin skeptics who say he's blindly trusting SBF and his lies and is looking for anybody to blame but SBF. On the other hand, we have the CZ skeptics saying he is a fraud and that Binance is collapsing and will face bankruptcy soon. All of this is perhaps just a piece in the jigsaw puzzle of the wider debate about whether crypto really has a future and whether crypto assets really have a utility and value. Well, with traction growing over the last few years and as more companies, organizations and individuals find their own utility for crypto, there will hopefully be a time when widespread trust in the crypto sphere means that there will be a thriving decentralized financial system. However, that's by no means certain, and as this evolves, for now at least, if you are committed to crypto, then you need to decide whether you keep your crypto in a hot wallet on a crypto exchange or in a cold wallet, giving yourself full control. The choice is yours.
I'm going to get the money back. That's what's going to happen. And where the chips fall, I have no idea. Who's going to jail? I have no idea. Who was fraudulent? I have no idea. But I will find out. I can tell you that, because this is 100% auditable, 100%. I don't care if it takes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, doesn't matter to me. You can't take my money and expect me to do nothing. I go after it, just as other institutions will do the same thing. I'm going to get the money back.
I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never.
Just before a wrap-up question, if you appreciate the content, then consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. I'll appreciate you back just as much. So, is Kevin a liar? Was he complicit in the FTX fraud? Will Binance collapse? Let me know your thoughts. Bye for now.